Good evening and welcome to that Demokratiska Böhmen, where it is the 4th of February of 1987 and the sun is rising. In which direction we do not know. It is a bit of a shock, this, but we shall persevere. And what we shall do is actually, I've been to the workshop and found an interesting thing that you can build, an interesting industry for us to maybe expand into. And let's park ourselves out here because this will be a part of the resource maybe that we'll need. Let's see here, it should be construction, yes, mod, and a huge chemical plant. But that is a chemical factory that requires crops and oil, quite a bit of it. And can we see, supposedly, I haven't tried this yet, how many workers do you need when 500 workers? Okay, so that's basically a steel mill in terms of worker capacity, steel mill or oil refinery in terms of, my lordy, that. And remember that we removed the source of rubles that we had. So, well, I do have 17 million in the bank, but it is 1987, so that doesn't buy you as much as it used to. And how big is this? Oh god, it's large. And it requires oil and crops. How many crops per day? Consumption 12 tons. That's not so much. 50 tons of oil. And you have a 60-ton oil import tank, so I'm gonna need probably the usual system right there of 3 buffers and so on. Yes. 500 workers. Is it time? We do have crops here, but that is connected to rail, more or less, I believe. Yes, we do have a warehouse here. It is full. There's a truck going back and forth. There is no road cargo station, so it's maybe not meant for big use. No, we only take one train out of there, and that goes to food production. Right. I think it is time to put some more of the great people of Kirarush into work. Kirarush. Yes. The only problem here is that we don't have a surplus of crops, and we didn't need that much. How much are you using? 42 tons per day is for the food, and you need 12 tons. Okay, that's not insignificant then. Might need to expand the farm. And yes, that could very well be done here, maybe. But if one... What are my... No, my trains are not broken. Thought there was a standoff there, but no. Huge chemical plant. And indeed it is huge. However, this... And you want raw unrefined oil, right? So you could live out here where we actually have an oil source of oil, if that's enough for you. I think so. You don't need that much, right? How much is a regular derrick out here? You have 61% and you produce 5 tons. Well, either it will work or it won't. Let's get going here. You can't sit around all day. And I think I would like it level with this rail line, because that's where I'll connect it up to eventually. But the rail line is only level at one place. So that's where I'll have to take off my spur. But why do I need rail here, by the way? What? I might not need rail, come to think of it. Well, the oil will be pumped in. Grain, is that really? Maybe grain. How much did you need again? 12 tons and per work day. So that's, and I think one of my great trucks can carry like 16 tons or something, 10 tons at least. That's 3 trucks per work day, and if we have the farm area over here, shouldn't take them. This is something completely new, and well then, where do we get the people out of Kirarush? We have these places. Look at the devastation that I caused to the landscape here. We have to be considerate of the environment as well. We have to remember to consider the environment as we dig through the earth for its resources. What is this? This is just a regular old boring oil train, or fuel exporter and oil mover arounder train. And past Kirarush. So it takes such a long time to actually build stuff, and I'm not sure that my form certainly not, sir. The format is not set. It is what we make of it. So let's build a chemical plant and see how that goes then. We're gonna need a lot of flat ground. We're gonna need crops, and we're gonna need oil, which we have really close by, really handy. And we have workers available. Not very handy, but we'll build a bridge over. Excuse me. We'll build a bridge, a great bridge over the railway, and it will be, one could say, normal here, because the railway or the landscape goes down in elevation after the point where I intend to take off my spur of the main, whatever direction main line. That's the main line of the country. This is the stambana of the demokratiska Böhmens stambana. The People's Democratic Republic of Bohemia's main line. Since we are very uncertain of which directions actually west, south, east, etc. are, we have decided to just call it the main line. Or stambanan, as it's known in the local language. And it really is the backbone of our economy. Yes. And I think that this is enough by now. Yes, that should be plenty enough. don't use that anymore, and we'll need to... Should I just build the thing and then try and figure out how to connect stuff up to it? Or no, let's put it in as a plan and see. Okay, so you have roads there, and you have pipes coming in there, and you have all sorts of cargo going that way. Right. I was thinking, well, maybe. Yes. Something like this, I think, could do it. If that would leave me enough room to get the rail thing in here, with everything that's needed, a rail cargo station and so on. And should I use a silo or... yes, a silo, I think, because the only thing that you need is props from there, and hopefully all the oil that you're gonna need is available there, so we won't need a train unloader thing, train fluid loader thing. However, we still need more land. It got dark, and there is some stuff which makes it impossible to raise the land any further. Let's just try and build, or try and get it in like this somehow. Yes. There we go. Now, first order of business. Is it possible to get a road in here? No, no, no. What are you doing? Stop, 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 stop. I am not committing to any of this. No, 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 no. These are just the plans of perhaps a madman. Wooden bridge. No. Prefab, concrete, bricks, steel brick. It has the word steel in it, so that's what we're going to use. That train is loud, properly loud. That's how we like it. Something like that, maybe? How does that look? Not too shabby, but the trees are certainly in the way here. They are not decorative in this game. Remove a tree. Yes. But isn't there a tree bulldozer? This is the tree bulldozer. Okay, great. Have it die, trees. No, it's not as satisfying as the real proper bulldozer is, but that will also take out the main line, for God's sake. That wouldn't be very good. And now we need to find a way through here. And let's see, the trolleybus buses going this way here, do they carry workers? Do they have a lot of workers? The trolleybuses coming in this way? No, they don't. What about you? You only have passengers. Okay. You only have passengers. And this might not be a great place to put a bus station. You have a little bit of workers. It's not a lot of workers on here, no. They're all getting off down here, maybe, and yes. Here there are plenty of workers waiting. So I'm going to have to go all the way over there, which means crossing. But here, yes, I can use a level crossing because there is no... would I build it straight up to town like that and then go... Well, certainly we should have this road, but let's build a quick bypass to get to bus stops. And it's fine to have a level crossing here since this rail line is defunct. It is not used. That is very steep. I should have gone up here, of course. take that back even a bit further, like that, yes. And then a bit like, yes, very nice. It is very steep here, apparently. Let's see. Let's zoom in a bit, and that might help too. And yes. Hooray! Got the road in. And well, it could be argued that you'd want to come off even out here. But where are the... Yes, the trolley buses still go, are still... It's in the way of the trolley buses, you know, and that is very bad to upset the trolley buses, because then you will lose a lot of momentum in your trolley buses. Yes, you will. How does this road look, you think? It is costing me 587,500 rubles. And I have 17 million rubles. And it is not going neither up nor down. So by the road, yes. And maybe I need to try out the concept of waypoints, just to be sure that the bus takes the correct road. Let's have a waypoint there. And how to build waypoint, please. Didn't think they needed to be built, but apparently. Yes. No. Yes. Thank you. Right then. That's road connection and workers and resources. No resources so far. Another interesting road connection is to that road, because that takes us all kinds of great places. We have to tear down a bit of pipes to raise them up, because they're so low to the ground and everything. But yes, this will have a fire station here, but I don't know if I can be bothered to try and put in roads. We'll see. Maybe someday. Someday maybe we'll get fire protection for at least one of our oil fields. But as luck would have it, fire doesn't seem to spread very, very much often here, even though it's a bit of a foresty area here, and it doesn't seem to rain in the Republic ever. And we have a very flammable industry going on, and then now we will have a even a one of these. Yep, I tell you, it is an art trying to do this and talk about what you are doing at the same time. And now there's a fire. What is happening here? In Kirarush, it's a residential building. We don't need to care about that, because Kirarush takes care of its own. However, I would like a bus stop. Yes. And if we could get it in somewhere around there, that would be great. Thank you. And a road like so. I'm thinking that later on the other road connection, or we'll build a road cargo station. Let's see what we have cargo-wise. We'll use this tool. Let's see, we have a lot of cargo connections there, and there as well, but there's the rail line. That doesn't really help us much. Unless there would be the possibility to have the rail line coming off here and just slotting into the station there, but it is a bit short, and how would you go out the other way? No, that would mean rebuilding this into one crazy block with a lot of crazy stuff going on. However, here, it may just be possible to sneak in a little thing here that's not auto-built, and if we could get that to work. But no, crossing is not allowed. This might be optimistic. I don't think that we're going to make that turn. Yes! Right. So now... Has this changed back? The auto set? No, it's set for 10 minutes. It's really 10 minutes. I'm just... These are way too long. I know. There is nothing... I'm trying to improve. I really am trying to improve, but... this is a learning experience, of course. Very much so, in fact. And now the... Okay, so the rail line that we intend to use and piggyback off of is then here. And if we could even get in here, but why? What am I intending to transport on this rail line? I have crops is what this needs. We might not want the crops trucks going straight through Kirarush. This is not thought through. We have a beautiful town here of Kirarush, which is working perfectly, and let's build the thing and see what we get. What did it cost? How expensive was it? 724,000 rubles, so probably $1 million or something at the get-go. Right. Okay, and we're gonna need, yes, oil. We need to get oil in here. And how do we do that? Easiest of all. It is here or here, but we do want it after the storage after all, don't we? Or maybe not. Maybe we'll prioritize that. Sorry, I'm getting ahead of myself. If I were to take the oil for the chemical plant from off here before it hits the buffer zone here, maybe that would means that the chemical plant would get priority on the oil, or maybe it wouldn't work at all, but we shall see. It is a pity that you can't really, you can't just do like that, but of course it's not, it wouldn't be this game if you could do that. No, that's not how we do it here in that Demokratiska Böhmen. I'm going to cut you off, and then I'm going to do a splitter. Yeah, this doesn't have to be that bad, actually. I can have you there, maybe. And one of these, yes. Yes, thank you for being so... I'll buy these immediately, since we are relying on them for our continued oil pumping business. Now we are heading over to the chemical plant, and you can't build that. I would like to have the pipeline going over the voltage. Yes. Cannot see a problem. I like to build this up really tall. That means you can easily get roads in under them, and they aren't finicky as some other things in this game are. There you go, and we're done with oil. So what you need now is crops, and crops aren't really that expensive, are they? Should we make a business out of this, importing crops and exporting chemicals? Because I do know that chemicals are really expensive, but previously, if you just imported everything that you needed in order to make chemicals, you wouldn't, and exported the chemicals, you didn't make any money from it. But perhaps now you can. We are going to need to, how much storage do you have in the warehouse there? 60 tons. That's quite a bit of chemicals actually that you have. That means that we could just have a road cargo station. We don't strictly need a warehouse in between. Also, putting warehouses in between these type of forklift things are not always predictable, let's say, in how they work. They are focus, man, please focus. Not that there's to the very fine people that are watching. Potentially, let's try and make it not a road vehicles depot. No, a road cargo station. Yes, that's what we want. And let's try and get that out of the way here somewhere. Yes. Excellent. Maybe excellent. No, because we are heading for that road over there, and because that way lies our textile industry, and they can certainly use some chemicals, some homegrown chemicals. Yes. Well, you're just committing to stuff right now, aren't you? Yes, I am. Can we try and get a road in around this place, maybe? Forget about the railroad. I don't think that... famous words. I don't think that this needs a railroad. If it does, we'll tear down the road and... yes. Why did you build it level to the railroad then? You have a long way for the buses to go. It doesn't matter, people don't mind. As long as the commute is under 5 hours, they don't mind. And should we just change this pipe, or should we delete all of these and have the road going under very tall pipes here? I say we go for the latter, even though it will be much more expensive than the first choice. That is very satisfying, yes, to just tear through your infrastructure that you put so much either work or money into, and to tear it down to make it better, of course. Well, I say satisfying. It is very sad somewhat, but no, don't do that. Come back here. It also hurts, of course. It is a lot of money and resources that went into these pipes. But the times are changing, and we're getting a road in under here, and that means redoing this. There's a building in the way. Well, okay, I don't blame you. I did build a lot of it far. No. Good thing I hadn't paid for it. And no, what is wrong with you? Why don't you want to play? Am I treating you badly, maybe? I shall try and be more accommodating. I shall try and be gentle with you. Something, and then we come down a bit, maybe? Yes, and over that. There you go. Very, very good. Very good. Then we take the road and build the road underneath. I hope. It means that the road will have some tight turns, but the expert drivers of our republic will handle this with no problem whatsoever. And also it gives them a bit of a challenge on the job to drive here. We flatten it out, make it a motorway. There are apparently one-way roads coming in this game, which means that you can maybe you can have motorways and you can have vehicles passing each other without cutting each other off and just slowing things down a lot by trying to overtake. I love that they try and overtake, but the code that is handling the overtaking could use some polish, as could many things in this game. Yes. I mean, it's been in early access for how long now? Was it released in probably soon a year ago or something? Well, let's not get into that. That there are basically one developer for much of that time, I think. So let's not get into that. It is a fantastic game. It is very addictive. I even had to start recording myself playing this game in order to try and wean me off my addiction. That is why I'm doing these videos. You know, we need a bus. Focus. And one more bus. Yes. 2 buses. One going to each bus platform. You go there, and you go there. And then you both go past the waypoint and past that waypoint as well, and then you go here, and yes, you are golden. But well, maybe we need to be thorough and tell you to go past the waypoint on the way back as well. Yes, I'd say with my experience with this game, that is rather something where you're rather safe than later on find that, yes, you would have been better off clicking. Once you understand the philosophy behind the game engine here, you sort of get a feeling for these things with this game. It's all part of what makes it such a unique and great experience, great game. At its core. I'm not saying that it couldn't be better. It could be a lot better. Crops. We need crops. And we don't have any workers, but they will arrive soon. So let's see what we can do about the crops situation. How much of a warehouse? 128 tons, you say? That's not bad. That is not bad. That's quite a bit. Yes. Well then, now it turns out I want to go that way on the railway, and where can I come off here? Certainly would be. This is not a good thing to forget about putting in when you do this sort of thing. There we go. Buy them, pay for them, so we get back on track here. But it doesn't really. We didn't lose anything by that. The trains are all out apparently. Let's go have a look just to check that everything is rolling according to plan. I think that the pensions fund is steadily increasing, which means that no, we have a catastrophe at the oil refinery, and it is you, my dear bitumen exporter, that are too long. But you are not too. No, that's exactly what we don't need to do, because you are not too long to go here, so we can salvage the situation. And if I recall correctly, to be safe, at least to keep it within these signals, but Here you were quite close, I think. I should have checked how many wagons I would have needed to take off, maybe, before. But it is easy to panic in a moment like that. That is the first snarl up, proper snarl up that I've had for many years. And look at all the trains that are gathered with the resources and everything. They are just waiting to get in here and feed the oil refinery. If something like this happens, then how much? They are empty. How are we doing over here? We have plenty of oil, which means that we are almost running at full capacity, even though we did have that big snarl up. So how much fuel do we got? Quite a lot, but not too much. Yes, very smooth. And you, sir, you're going to have 2 wagons less than you are currently sporting. There we go, and go. Too bad that we couldn't have that long a train. And yes, maybe I only need to take 1 wagon off after all, but... Okay, so we have a beginning of the what you call it, chemicals industry. It is, I realize, a large project getting into the business of producing chemicals. So with the sun setting, in whichever direction it is rising and setting, I say thank you so very much for watching, and good night from that demokratiska Böhmen.